In this video, we're going to talk about proving triangles similar by a similarity postulate. In a previous unit, we talked about proving triangles as congruent using 4 different theorems: side, 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 angle, side, and angle, side, angle. For similar triangles, we also have a couple of theorems. Some may be similar, and some are new to similarities. We're going to focus on angle for this video. So angle similarity postulate means if two angles of one triangle are congruent, to two angles of another triangle, then the two triangles are similar. Now, thinking back to when we talked about congruence theorems, when we only had angles and no sides given, this was not enough to prove that two triangles were congruent. But if we're looking at similar triangles, having two angles is enough information to prove that they are similar. Now you might be asking, well, what about the third angle? Because two of the angles are going to be congruent, the third angle will have to be congruent to the other one. So at minimum, you only need two angles. But technically it is AAA theorem. You can think of it like that as well. So for example, if I were to give a bare minimum of K being congruent to Y and L being congruent to Z, having just this information, two pairs of angles being congruent, I can say that triangle JKL is similar to triangle XYZ by the angle similarity postulate. So we've talked about theorems before. Postulate you can think of as a theorem. So it's an angle similarity postulate. Let's go through a couple of questions or examples together in the video, and we'll finish the rest in class. So the first one, we want to determine whether the triangles are similar. If so, write a similarity statement. So let's go ahead and figure out what we have. In question number 1, we have angles given for each triangle, and so far we have 92 and 92 degrees that are congruent to each other. So we have one pair of angles are congruent. We have 57 for one triangle and 41 degrees for another triangle. Let's go ahead and find the missing angles for each triangle just to see if we have any more matches. Okay, so I'll have 92 plus 57 gives us 149 degrees. And I'll go ahead and subtract 180 minus 149. That should get us 31 degrees. So angle C here is 31 degrees. Checking my other triangle, we have 92 plus 41 degrees gives us a total of 133 degrees. 180 minus 33 gives us 47 degrees. So angle D will be 47 degrees. Looking at all of my corresponding angles, I only have one pair of corresponding angles that are congruent. So this is not congruent, or not similar. Not similar. Let's go into one more example here. For question number 2, we can see that we already have one pair of angles that are congruent. Angle B and angle E are congruent. Let's check the other angles. So 48 plus 77 gives us 125. 180 minus 125 equals 55. Right. So here we can see that two pairs of angles are congruent. Angle C and angle F are also congruent to each other. If we were to check angle D, it should equal 77. So let's double check our work. 55 plus 48 degrees equals 103. 180 minus 103 gives us 77 degrees. So angle D is also 77 degrees. So this is congruent. So let's go ahead and write the similarity statement for it. Again, matching all the angles to its corresponding angle, I'm going to write triangle ABC is similar to triangle A matched up with D, so D comes first, then to E, then F. So triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. So here are two examples of how using AA, similarity postulate, to prove that two triangles are similar.